Okay. All right. Let's see. Need to. You guys hear me all right? Think we're good. Can anybody tell me if they can hear me, though? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Loud and clear. All right. Jace, can you try saying something? Could y'all hear Jason? Okay. Probably not. So 1 second. I fixed this last time. I just got to remember how I fixed it. Listen, I think I did it where I shared audio was the thing. I shared my I shared my screen and then I shared audio with it. Was that what I did? I don't know how to just share audio. Yeah, it says share audio from tab. So we're gonna do. I got a plan. Nope, I got a plan. We got this. We got this. So we're gonna go over here, look at the live stream chat, and I'll share my screen and put that up on there, and then I can share audio through there, and we are gonna be cooking. All right, we are cooking. All right, Jason, can you give me like a 1, 2, 3?
The Georgia Bulldogs suck.
Did anybody hear his dumbass?
Yes, I could hear him.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Switch. I want to know if they can hear him on stream.
Yes.
Yeah, he's loud. He's always loud and annoying, so you just get used to it. I mean, honestly.
Oh, don't let me cuss.
All right. So
Hello.
let's get straight into it. Can you give me the first list, Jace?
All right. That chill bro. Are you here? Don't see him here. And we have reached 5K, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, so we actually hit 5,000 subscribers today. So I really appreciate it. I'll show you guys something real cool, just real quick, that my wife actually made me. She was watching the channel. I didn't even know this because they don't make these for 5,000 subscribers. My wife ordered this off Etsy for me. That's how you know you got a bad lady right there, right? That's pretty cool, I thought. So thank y'all. I really appreciate it. All right, so let's keep on going.
He's here. I'm sending you over the list now.
My man.
It is an Iron Warriors list from the Pit of Misery.
All right, Iron Warriors. Perfect. So we'll do this. I got it. So I love Iron Warriors. Okay, so we got Rhino, Terminator, Chosen, Cultist, hold back line, Cultist for expansion, new Defiler, Forge, 2 Forge Fiends and a Defiler. Okay, good shooting. You got Huron. You got going in with Masters, going in a Rhino. Okay, so you're talking about how to strategize for your early game, set up your in game. So the thing is with this list, you've got a lot of shooting. So with 2 Forge Fiends and a Defiler, you actually have really good long-range shooting. I'm pretty sure off the top of my head that Forge Fiends have like 36-inch range, if my memory serves me correct. And I know the Defiler's got long range. So you actually have really good long-range punch. So in my opinion, the best way that I would strategize early game is I would be setting up early game with your shooting and staging. The only thing you might want to tweak in your list is, are you playing Vashtor just because you love him or because he's on theme? Because I I know the Forge Fiend. Well, I know the Forge Fiends like do better when they're in close range. At least the World Eater ones do. These are not the World Eater ones, but like they still have good range. I think one of the things that I would look at though is Vastor is not very good right now, and so it was. I think he's a little bit of a questionable pick. And the only other thing I would ask is, I'm guessing you're starting the Terminator off the board. Is that correct? I don't know. We'll give him a second to respond.
Was doing it for the Forge Fiends +2 strength.
Yeah. Totally get it. I still think that they're great, because if you double the Forge Fiends up on one target, even at long range, it's going to take a transport out. Defiler gives good shooting. My only actual worry is, I'm going to assume that he said yes. I'm assuming he's starting the Chaos Terminators off the board. If you're playing a good player that knows what they're doing, what they're going to do is they're going to push their army forward. And it's called like extending your threat bubbles, right? They're going to try to push their army forward to keep the areas that you can bring those Terminators in at a disadvantage. Because you got to keep in mind, one of those Terminator bricks is 300 points. And so it's a very, very expensive brick. The longer that they can keep it from interacting, the more they're winning the game. And so that all being said, you're going to have 500 points off the board to start. And if they can make it to where you don't have any favorable spot to bring those Terminators in, it could be difficult for you. I think with the way your army is trying to play, you're trying to play a true hybrid army with shooting, and you got some thicker units to stand on the funny circles, soon to be funny squares. You've got some decent shooting. The one thing I would really look at doing is I would take Vastor out, because unless I'm crazy, I'm going to look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure the Chaos Space Marine Forge Fiend is the same data sheet, but I've never actually run it with CSM, so I'm going to double check before I talk out of my butt here. I think it's strength 10 on its gun. It is. Okay, so it's still strength 10, so it's a great strength profile. I would get rid of Vastor. I would potentially pick up maybe some Raptors or something like that. What you need is something that you can stage safely on turn 1, but turn 2, you can push it out for that rapid ingress on their turn 2, because you're either going to push it out on your turn 1. If you say you're going second, then on your turn 1, your Raptors could go out, therefore giving you places to bring that rapid ingress for your Terminators. Or if you were to go first, then on turn 2, your Raptors are going to go out to rapid ingress on turn 3. Because what you really want is you want those Terminators rapid ingressing in more into the midboard, so then they can get engaged. So if you have a 10 Raptor Man brick, I think that's great. I would see what the points look like but that's my only thought, is you don't have anything that you can push up a little bit to give you some spacing to bring those Terminators. Because like, if I was playing you and let's say I'm playing Sisters, I would purposely play you more aggressive, because I'd go, if I can keep 500 points of his army from not playing the way he wants, I can theoretically for almost 3 rounds play 2,000 versus 1,500, and that's not a fun game for you. So that would be my biggest suggestion, brother. All right.
The next one is
Ultramarines?
Yep, Lil Vit. He was here. Told him that he was next.
Awesome. All right, let's
Blade
see
of
this.
Ultramar.
Calgar goes with Vitrix. Big surprise. Tech Marines stay close to the Redemptors. Yep, so that you can give them the buff. Main problem I've been having is the late game. I usually... Yeah, so as soon as I saw your list, before I even read your note, I thought the same thing you did, is that the way your army is currently constructed, it's very, very elite. It's very, very elite, because even though like on paper you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you have 13 total units, but the problem is 13 becomes 12 because Vitrix are going with Calgar. Then it becomes 11 because the other ones are going with the Ancient. And then it really becomes 9 because those Tech Marines are kind of handcuffed to stay next to the Rep X's, the Repulsor Executioners, or the Dreadnoughts. You probably, I'm betting, you're tag teaming. You're putting one with one and one with the other. Let's see. Stay close to the Redemptors while the. I think you meant to say. I think you missed. You mix those words up, but that's okay. When you're running a 9-unit army, you're going to really, really struggle when it comes to being able to screen out your opponent. You're going to really struggle if you like the dreaded thing for a 9-unit army is sabotage and cleanse. Shit, we're just not going to score those because you need every unit to be able to activate. So my first thought is most people right now are only running one Victrix. They're very good, but they're just running one. If you drop that Blade Guard Ancient and a Victrix, that immediately gives you 260 points to play with. The other thing, I know you like the Tech Marines. I don't think you need the Tech Marines. I mean, you have 5. You have to keep this in mind. You have 2 toughness 10, 2 base save holes, and then you have 3 toughness 11. They may only be a 3 base save, but you got some tough cookies there. Okay, so if it was me, what I would do, easiest way to think about this is I would turn that Tech Marine and a Blade Guard Ancient into another Scout Squad. Then, because you're playing a straight gun line type army, what I would then do is I would take that Victrix Guard that's 220 points. I'd take 100 of those points and they're called infiltrators. So I'd get 5 infiltrators. They're the ones that have the 12-inch null zone bubbles. Here's the cool part about those. If you have any generic Space Marine, you could proxy them for them until you pick you up a box. Great kit, by the way. Awesome stuff. They got like all these pouches that you can put on your dudes. Really good kit. But then you still have probably about 140 points left over. I would personally get, he's saying he's got them. Great. So you have one squad there, just a 5-man. That will screen out your home field. Then what I would do is I would take that other 140. I would get you another unit of jump packs. What I'd probably do is I would spend the extra 5 points, and it's the same model, so it doesn't matter. Especially now the new one is literally like a poor man's JPI. I would turn them into Vanguards, because if you do Vanguards, you can give them the 4-up invuln because you don't need them for killing. You've got killing. Killing's not a problem. You need to be able to screen and score. And if you took that one Victrix guard squad, well, let's start with this. You take your Tech Marine and your Blade Guard Ancient, you make a Scout, and you got a couple of points, right? Then you take your Tech Marine and those extra points, borrow 10 from the Victrix Guard unit. Now you have one more Vanguard vet, and you can upgrade the 5 points of your current Vanguard vet. You're probably going to have 180 points left over after that. You spend 100 points on some infiltrators, and then honestly, what I would do is I'd spend the other, if you have 80, and I don't know how many you have off your head, I'm kind of just spitballing, but I see you said you have it in the chat. I'd get some incursors. 80-point incursors, I think, are freaking incredible in the meta right now. Being able to move around as a cheap unit, and they can shoot something, and now your whole army gets to hit it on one higher. Being that you're Ultramarines, that is so nasty. If you're able to put, 2 Rep X's into something that you Oath of Moment, so you've got +1 to hit, reroll all hits, +1 to wound. It's dead. There's nothing that's going to survive. They're deader than dead. And so the really good thing is you can use that +1 to hit on the thing you're not Oath of Momenting. So you could go, I'm going to Oath of Moment this target, and I'm going to put this Rep X into it. And then I'm going to use the +1 to hit over here, and I'm going to fire 2 guns into it because now they're hitting on 2s. So that'd be how I would change your list up, and hopefully that'll help. I don't think it's going to change the play style much. I think the difference is you're going to feel like my backest line is safer, and so you can breathe a little bit more. With an extra Scout Squad, you have another expendable unit that can kind of go out there and screen and do objectives and stuff like that. The Incursors also give you a point monkey to run around, and then having 2 jump packs. to go out there and stand on the funny circles with a 4-up invuln, it will bait. You can literally throw one out, stage your Victrix Guard behind a wall, and say, "Go ahead, come out there and shoot them." And my 5 tanks are going to roll out and blow whatever it is off the board. So, be my 2 cents. Hopefully that's helpful, man.
Next up, we have Spencer with Left Turn at Albuquerque, the Tunnel Snakes, and he is in Discord.
I know he's in Discord. I've played Spencer's Tunnel Snakes. So let's see what we're cooking with. Very helpful. Thank you. Awesome, man. Glad it was helpful. Glad to help, brother. All right, let's see what we got here. Tunnel Snakes. All right, I love the Leaper, Swarm Lord, Trigon. Oh, taking the nerf Tyranid, the buffed Tyranid Prime, I see. Okay. Gargoyles, didn't have that the last time we played. I like that. Hormagaunts, not in love with the 20-man brick, but we'll see. Biovore, arguably the best 50-point unit in the game. Exocrine, Maliceptor. Screamer Killer. You're a crazy man. You're gonna run. I love the Screamer Killer, but he's poo-poo diarrhea bad. He's like if you've ever gone to Cancun and someone gave you some really cloudy ice cubes and they go, "No, it's okay, don't worry, drink the water, and you're like, seems like a great plan. That's the Screamer Killer. So we're going to just pretend that you have an extra 125 points to play with.
You have died of dysentery.
Yeah. And then the bugs are what? How many? That'd be an odd number. Are they what? 65 points for 10?
65 for a Hormagaunt.
Yeah. Now, are you
65?
Yeah. Are you using the 20?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I hear you great. Are you using them to completely zone out your backfield, or are you using them as like just cannon fodder to go run onto a point? Which, like, how are you using them, Spence?
No, they're to screen out in the beginning and then to go.
And then to go out? Okay. I get you. Here's the thing.
Out to a point later on.
Yeah. I think you can do it with 10. I think you can absolutely do it with 10. So a 10-man unit for most deployment zones will screen out like 70%. And the fact that you're already going to have your Biovore on your home point, and you're going to have, what's it called? The Swarm Lord is going to be back there. So you're going to have the Swarm Lord, you're going to have your Biovore, and then you're going to have a 10-man that's going to be back there for a hot minute. You're going to be fine. Screening is not going to be a problem. So I think we can take 65 points there. We got these, so we're at 85, 95. So we're basically at we got 200 points to play with. Yeah, I mean, you got 200 points to play with. Here's the problem that I see. Like when you come out, you got your 3 big tunnel snakes that are going to come out. You got your Maliceptors that are pushing forward. If you don't have anything here, you don't have any pressure that's going to keep me from just coming forward and denying you space on the board, which is what you want. You want space. Or you don't have anything that I've got to be necessarily like really nervous about. So because of that, I think you got a little bit of a tricky here. The 2 exocrine I think are good. What I would probably try is I would drop the Screamer, drop those extra Hormagaunts. I think it's called like the Tyrannofax. The guy that's got the D6 plus 6 gun. You know what I'm talking about? The big, it's like 2 shots, hitting on 3s, but you command point, reroll 1.
Tyrannofax.
Yeah. I think if you brought one of those guys into your list, I think a mix, because like I'm just thinking about like the Ultramarine list I just looked at. He's going to park his 5 tanks out there and go, "Fuck you, what do you want to do?" And not have any fear of you, and just go, when you pop out of the hole, I'm going to shoot you off the board. But if you were able to go, "Hey, I'm going to double up an Exocrine and a Tyrannofax onto one of your tanks," you're either going to kill it or you're going to really, really, really hurt it. And so now, like you can give it a little bit of fear, because he's going to have to screen so that you don't just drop your stuff in, but you can shoot. The other thought process is, and I don't know if you have a third exocrine, would be a third exocrine, because I do honestly feel like we are moving. I know we just did an ultra release, so it was all tanks. We are moving into an elite meta right now. And so I think the exocrine's profile is really, really good in the current meta. And so I think that I would probably, if I was going to optimize your list to the best we could, my first thing would be is drop those two, get you an exocrine, and then how much is a lictor? Just a regular, like, basic bitch lictor. I don't remember.
60.
I don't know if we'd have enough.
60.
But what we could maybe do, if you don't have enough, is we could turn, you have a neurolictor. I think if we turned your neurolictor into a lictor, as an example, I think you could then get you an exocrine and a lictor. Does that make sense? And I think that would give you more, because what's going to happen is
I have a third exocrine.
That's perfect, because the exocrine, the third exocrine, is going to give you better damage output, and it's going to give you better threat projection than the Screamer Killer. And the 10 Hormagaunts are going to literally do nothing, but the Lictor can score you points, stand on a circle, force them to come out. He can do mission play for you. So that'd be my 2 cents, brother.
Okay, thanks.
So just real quick, while Jason's getting the next list up, Little Vit, you had asked about like the double blade guard build. So I do think in 11th, now granted, we've only seen 2 terrain, so we need to see what the others look like. If the terrain is going to be the way it is, because the terrain appears like it's going to be a lot of like 24 to 30 inch shooting. If that's the case, I like the idea of running multiple elite melee units that you can put in transports and launch. I think there's some real nasty synergy there. I just need to see what the other terrain layouts are. Because right now we have 2 that are horrible for shooting. What if those are the 2 that aren't, and the next like 4 layouts are all shooting layouts? Who we cooking with next, Jace?
Preacher coming to us with the Space Corgis.
The Space Corgis.
As I was reading comments, because y'all probably don't believe that I do, I read comments after Meta Monday. I'm sorry we did not give you enough Space Corgi references. We will try better next week.
I'm going to flip the screens on these so it's a little bigger. Is that bigger for y'all? All right. Space Corgis. All right. So my first thing is, if your goal is just to go to Valhalla, you pick the right army. If you're trying to win right now, I hate to say it, you might have picked the wrong army. But
there's probably a better detachment than a Saga.
Oh, you're playing a Saga. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. All right. Let's look at this. All right. Rock Fist, he's okay. Fell-handed, I like. He's okay. Logan is great. I think Logan is one of the best data sheets in the game. Grey Hunter. Ballistus. Eradicator. Infernus. Okay. You might be the first Space Wolf player I've ever seen to run Infernus Marines. That's interesting. That's spicy. That's a spicy take right there. Okay. Predator, Wolfguard Terminator. Okay, so here's my initial thought. Right now, your list doesn't really have an identity. You're trying to play like a really balanced list, and Wolves don't play balanced 40K well. So they're like, you need to lean in to one thing or the other. So I think if you're playing Wolves, and I've played them a bunch, like, which is partially where all the jokes come from, you either need to play I'm coming at you kind of pressure, let's see if they can handle it army. And there's always a plus and minus, right? And the minus there is that their damage is a little low, but you could lock people down because you can be pretty gosh darn tough. Or Or you go, I'm going maximum durability and I'm going to outscore you on primary and good luck. And I'm going to have shooting and and durability. You're kind of splitting it. So you've got your Gray Hunters, which are like decent melee units. You've got the Predator, which is really kind of subpar. I'm guessing you're playing it just because it's what you got. Infernus doesn't really have a synergy here. I'm guessing your plan is there maybe your home point, with an Overwatch threat potentially or something. Not 100% sure there. The Eradicators are not bad. Terminators, your Wolfguard Terminators aren't bad. Wolfguard Scouts, I hate to tell you this, are fucking horrible. So just run regular Scouts. Use your Wolf Scouts because they look way better. But just run regular Scouts that are 70 points. Like what you have to pay for is shit, brother. It's just not worth it. Like their data sheet and their weapon loadouts are not worth it at all. And so like I think you're really, really going to regret it. That'll get you some points. But let's real quickly just look at so Beast Slayer. I'm trying to remember. You can re-roll the hit roll. Okay. No. Oh yeah, this is the one where you have to complete the chapters. So unless you're just you're not even running all the stuff that you need. I'm guessing you're doing this because of the OC control. Potentially is that why you're running this? Yeah, you kept getting out OC'd. So here's the thing: you don't get out OC'd if you keep them from getting on the points or you kill them. So I think you could make this army significantly more efficient if you said, okay, here's what we're gonna do. So Ballistic Dreadnoughts are good all-purpose units, but they don't specialize at anything per se. I would get rid of the Predator. It's 140 point blah blah. That's just not going to do anything for you. Then you also, when you make this change, that gives you another 30 points. So now you got 170 points that you could go and you're just theoretically replacing one unit. I think you do need something to be able to move up the board. So I think that the idea of potentially, so let's see, you've got something for your home point. So we can get rid of the Infernus guys as well. Get rid of the Infernus guys. You're gonna be sitting around let's see, what is that? That's 230, 260, 260-ish. So you get 260-ish points. If you get rid of the Infernus and this, but what you're going to fundamentally do, what I would do is I would upgrade this to a Repulsor Executioner. So you're going to basically smash these together and you're going to have a Rep X. Now you have three. So you have your Eradicators, which are going to be in a reserve. You're going to have a Terminator squad in Deep Strike. And to me, you got a Terminator squad to go stand on your expansion, right? You've got scouts that can help screen the other side of the board if you need, then up, down, and go score points. You got your big Terminator brick that you're moving up foot that's just going out, waiting to charge into something in the middle. And then realistically, you can put one of your Ballistic Dreadnoughts on your flank to shoot and back up your expansion point. The Rep X and the other one are shooting into the midpoint. Your Gray Hunters are pushing out and skirmishing as kind of that first wave. And then you bring your Eradicators in from reserve to target something valuable. And I actually think you got a decent army. The one other thing that I would start there, make sure you like the way it plays. If you like the way it plays, switch to Stormlance. Once you learn how to move block and screen a little better and keep them off points, then I think you're going to find even more success, because Stormlance, right now, all of the part of the reason Space Wolves are in a bad spot, they don't have a good detachment. So your best option is either Gladius, which is okay for you, or because you really don't need advance and shoot, and you don't mind being locked in as bad. You really just want to be able to get in. So I would personally, if you really want to, you're trying to get reps in, especially if you're playing in a tournament, dude, I would I would 100% go Stormlance. Make those quick changes. You're gonna have a rep X. You might have a few points left over, and then that Tech Marine is gonna, like, if you have enough points to turn that Tech Marine into an Incursor squad, like if you have like 25 points, do that. If not, then just keep the Tech Marine by them. So that'd be my 2 cents, my man. Hopefully that's helpful.
Next up is my foe this week, Gene B.
All right. Well, now we got to really cook, because we got to make sure you win. You got to make sure that Jason loses in round 1, so we can troll him, because that would be just too great. All right. Renegade Raiders. Okay. I like your detachment already. You got a Fallen Dark Angel. Love that. Huron Blackheart. Mr. Big Hand himself. Okay. Yeah, Cultist, Legionary, Rhino, Predator, Vindicator, Chosen Masters, Raptors. Dude, I like your list. I actually really like your list. Gosh, Gene, what are you struggling with? Because like the only thing that I might change would be maybe the Predators. I might try to turn them into a Defiler, but like, tell me what you're struggling with.
Well, we don't know if we're going to be able to buy a Defiler, so we didn't put that in there. Putting things on funny circles and holding it, like nothing in the list is overly like tough enough to survive to hold down points. Like I'm putting like Legionaries and Raptors up front. They kind of get wiped out, and then I lose control, so I'm not scoring the primary points I'd like to score usually. I do fairly well on most secondaries, but yeah, primary game's a little weaker than I would like it to be.
Okay. So then in that case, what you need is something that they don't want to trade, because if typically when you're failing at the primary game, what that tells me is that what's happening is you're putting something out on the point that's juicy enough for them to go, I'm going to not only deny you points, but I'm going to kill it, because they know when they do that, you're going to clap back and you're going to shoot back into them, right? So when that is the exchange, and we know that is what's going on, in my opinion, what's happening is you're putting something that is a little bit too valuable in your opponent's eyes. So one thing that we might try here is we might try looking at, because I agree, like if I saw Raptors out on a point, I know that's your fast unit. I know it moves really well. I know it's great for scoring. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to shoot that thing. But I want to see do you have any of the Chaos Bikes?
I got 1 unit of Chaos Bikes.
Okay. So I'm going to see, what are they called? Chaos Bikers. There they are. I'm trying to see how many points they are. Okay, perfect. They're 70 points. Perfect. So here's what I think we do. I can literally, like, I got some bikes you can proxy. I'll loan them to you for the Dallas Open if you need. For those of you watching online, Gene lives like freaking 20 minutes from my house. So I got you. I can loan you some. I would swap out both your Legionary units, because you're putting your Noise Marines and the Rhinos. Like there's no question, Noise Marines go on the Rhinos, and those are great. The way I would probably try to play this is you stage your Rhinos for the clapback, right? And what you're doing is you're sending those Chaos Bikers out there, because they're going to be tougher than the Legionaries. The Legionaries being 4 toughness, 2 wounds, going up to that 5 toughness, 3 wounds immediately makes them a tougher unit. And they just don't seem like they're going to be as sexy to kill. And so I really like the idea of being able to go, I'm going to drive 3 bikes out onto the point. And I've got a Rhino with a set of Noise Marines and Huron and his homies hiding behind a wall. You tell me if you want to kill them. And then you have the other bikes just pushing forward as kind of like a screen, area blocker, doing emissions, things like that on the other side. When they do decide to clap into your bikes, that's when your Rhino goes out and parks on there. You use your firing deck to shoot. If you need them to get out, they can get out and shoot, because then your rhino now becomes the point monkey to stand on the point. And I think what you'll find is if you have the proper sequencing of this is my first thing that I'm putting out there, and then this is my second thing, it'll go a lot smoother. And you could honestly do depending on your opponent, you could do the same strategy on your expansion point there as well. Now, the one thing that I would say is if you can, end up getting your hands on a Defiler, I do think the list actually even becomes a little bit stronger with taking the two Predators and, Frankenstein monstering them in, because, you'd have 30 extra points that we could float around for an enhancement or something that we could figure out, because Vindicators are really good. The downside is Vindicators only have 24-inch range, so they're a little shorter. And I think the Defiler gives you that long range. Oh, you deployed poorly, I'm going to Spider-Man out here. And what I've seen a lot of people do is they put it on their expansion side, because then it could shoot into the mid, or if there is that left-hand straight, it could shoot the whole range. It's tough enough that you're like, if you want to trade 1 for 1, like, good luck. Because all of my guns have really, really long range, and I think it's uniquely skilled at that. So that would be my only other tweak.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've been using the Predators for, because that destroyer cannon is like really, really good, especially in Renegade Raiders, where you can pop it up to AP2 damage 3. Like it's got 48 inches as well, and the 2 lab cannons. So that's like my long range threat right now. Is you put even Terminators out there, the chances are I can pick up most of them.
Yep, it's not a bad option. That would just be my one suggestion, but. Hopefully, I think nothing else. If you left the list and you just swap the Legionaries out for bikes, and that would give you enough points that you could actually, if you swapped your 2 Legionaries out for bikes, you could pick up 1 more cultist unit, which gives you another action monkey, another dumb idiot to go stand on a point. That would be my suggestion. Hope it helps. All right, who's next?
Renegade. He is not here, from what I understood, but.
I'll go through it real quick.
Yeah, he's playing something you're familiar with.
Oh, my girls, my nuns with the guns. Okay, let's see, what do we got? Hollowed Martyrs, Junith, Morgan, Canoness with Jump. I know people are playing her. I'm just not a giant fan. Ahasi, Sax, 3 Dominions. That means you got 3 Immolators, right? Whoa, okay, hold on. You get 2 Immolators. Why do you have 3 Dominions and 2 Immolators? You're doing some crazy things, man. And you don't run pitted engines as a pair. You silly, silly boy. Okay, so we're going to tweak your list up here, brother. And most of it's going to be pretty easy. So you're going to turn these 2 Penitent engines into 3 solo mortifiers. You do not have the sarcophagus on this. You put the sarcophagus on this. So what that does is it immediately makes it a little tougher, gives it 1 better to its save profile, which is great, because the mortifiers, like we were just talking about with the previous list, are a pain in the ass, because you're sending them out there. They're just cheap enough that the opponent doesn't want to kill them, but they're great for basically going, hey, I'm going to stand on a point, and if you don't kill me, I'm going to score it. But if you do kill me, then I'm going to pull all these guns out, and you're going to have a really, really, really bad day. The other really cool trick, if you're going against a big shooting army, stage a mortifier and accidentally, quote unquote, put him in the open where he's within 6 inches of your castigators and your immolators. As many as you can. You can very easily get him in range of 3, or potentially Morgan Voll's unit, which probably doesn't matter as much, just in case they're a big infantry unit. Let them shoot him, spend 1 CP, because you've got it to auto explode the mortifier. He'll do 1 damage to everything around, which triggers our army rule, which gives all your units +1 to hit. So now basically half your army is hitting on 2s, which is just it's a nasty, dirty trick. As soon as somebody falls for it once, they'll never fall for it again. I struggle with T12, 16 wound vehicles. Okay, so here's like Hollowed Martyrs is not the wham bam thank you ma'am that Bringers of Flame is. Hollowed Martyrs is meant to play like a more tradey game of Warhammer of like, you killed this, I killed this, you killed this, I killed this. In my opinion, you should not be running 3 Dominions with just 2 Immolators. Like, you want to split those girls. So we could get 120 points back. Then if you have an Exorcist, I don't know how I just saw you have an Exorcist. What in the
Richard Blonde.
Sam hell? You are a psycho. I love it. I have 3 sitting up here on the shelf that I haven't played in 2 years. Oh, gosh. Okay, so here's the problem. You're paying for a mediocre tank that has indirect that makes it crud. My number one wish for Sisters is that Exorcist loses the indirect keyword and goes to like 180 points, 170 points, and that would be freaking amazing. But we'll see. Anyway, get rid of the Exorcist. So if we get rid of the Dominions and you get rid of the Exorcist, you have 330 points. Pick up a 3rd Castigator because you need the long-range guns. You really probably want to commit to either auto guns or battle cannons because they're very different strategies of how you play. I could argue either one if you're just talking about what's better in the meta right now. In Hollowed Martyrs, battle cannon is better. In every other detachment, I think auto cannons are better. So just my 2 cents. But if you do that, that's going to leave you with like 180 points left over. The other thing that I would probably add in here with 180, gosh, I need 20 points. So what I would probably do is I would drop one of your mortifiers. So you'd only have 2 mortifiers. Pick up another 10 Sacrosaints, another Hospitaller, because it's a 200-point brick. And then with the last 50 points, you pick up 3 Arcos. And what's going to happen is you're turning 2 units, because the 3rd one is a tradesy, into 2 more efficient. You're getting significantly more efficient units. You've got 2 things that can really clog up the middle with 2 Sacrosaint bricks. You could still play the game and you can kill well. So those would be my recommendations. How you're going to kill those toughness 12 vehicles is actually pretty easy. You just have to tag team them. So what you're going to do is when you pick one that you want to kill, you're going to send an immolator at it, right? You're going to fire everything from the immolator into it. It basically has 3 meltas because the hunter killer is a melta. Realistically, you're going to get 1 wound through, and let's just say you use a miracle dice of like a 4. So you do 4 damage to it. You're going to throw a grenade. That grenade's going to do probably 2. So now you've done 6 damage, okay? Now you've got 5 melta guns because you got the little Inferno pistol that's coming out. You're going to use a miracle dice on them on your wound roll. So slow roll them and save 1 for that. You should statistically give them 2 wounds. They're going to be saving on 6s. They should fail both. You'll average 3 and 3, so you'll do another 6 damage. So your immolator package should do somewhere between about 8 and 12 damage, just depending on how good your grenade cooks and how good. If you have a 6 for a miracle dice, obviously to sub in for a damage, that helps a ton with the immolator damage, but it just kind of varies. And then your castigator shoots it next. And because now your castigator is now shooting it and it ignores cover. So that big battle cannon's hitting it, with that 1 damage. If you're going the battle cannons, if you're going the auto cannon, shoot it with the castigator first. So because you don't, I apologize. If you have the battle cannon, shoot it with the battle cannon first to give all of your sisters and your immolator that 1 AP. If you don't have a battle cannon, you're going auto cannons, do your girls first so that you can strip cover. The combination of the castigator and an immolator dominion package should kill them with a grenade, and it's a worth it price because then as soon as they move, here's the hot take. Don't put your girls back in the car. Everybody does a reactive move. Don't do that. Move forward. People will never expect it. Screen them. As soon as they move 1 unit, reactive move forward to screen them. They've killed something. They've done their job. So hopefully that's helpful, brother.
Next up is Gene B with another list.
Oh, hold on 1 second. He's right. There's just one immolator in the list. So yeah, I would take the second one out, and I would get you a 10-man Arco. I'd get you a full 10-man Arco Flagellants. A full 10-man squad. And then if you're getting a full 10-man squad, what you could do, because you're going to have about 20 points left over, you could turn this Canoness with a jump pack and this enhancement into 2 regular Canonesses, which again just gives you even more action monkeys and points to do stuff. Great catch, whoever that was in the chat. I'm sorry, I got on my small monitor so I can see it over there. All right, let's keep rolling. Who's next?
Gene B with another one.
Yeah, we're gonna give other people a chance. I'll come back to Gene and I'll do a second list.
The next one will be the Nasty Boys. I don't know if he's here, but he is running a Death Guard list.
The Nasty Boys. Are you here, brother? We'll kind of go through it. It's a cool name. All right. Let's see what we got
the
here.
Death Lord's Chosen, just for the record, Drake, that is the Terminator detachment. So all the stratagems can only be used on Terminators.
Yeah, he's going thick, Man City. Tally's sitting in the back. Tyvis. Oh, he's got the big Terminator brick. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Bloat drone, holler, pox. Okay, so I actually don't hate the list. The only thing I would say is so these guys are going to run around and do stuff for you. You are 1,000% reliant on the Terminators to do most of the heavy lifting for you. Quick question, Jason: is your Demon Prince the same as World Eaters, where you get the -2
Strat?
Yeah, where it like makes strats cost 1 less.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Because here's what I'm thinking. And he has the loan op too, right? If he's within 3.
Believe so.
All right. So,
But see, with that,
180.
again, they're fingering cursing people.
Yeah.
And that unit cannot be targeted outside of 18 inches because it gives the entire.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm thinking. So what this list needs
Fort Fire.
Yeah, you're lagging just a little bit, brother. This list needs something to get things cooking. And what I mean by that is that like right now, if you put just one of the cheap vehicles out there
On the board and pick them up.
It's going to be easy for them to kill, easy for them to try to pick things up. So Death Lord's Chosen. I want to see what this enhancement is real quick. So it's Helm of the Flying King. Okay, yeah. So it is a good enhancement. What I'm trying to figure out is I need to get him 100 points. So if we get rid of what I'm initially thinking right now is if he gets rid of basically one of his haulers and then the chaos spawn. Now I need something else. I need the hauler and then Lord of Contagion or Lord of Virulence. Let's see which has better synergy with your list. Because what I want to give you is I want to be able to give you a Demon Prince that you could go put out on the midpoint and go, this is an actual tough unit that you're not going to shoot because you got to get within range and they're going to be tough to kill. And by the way, I have a nasty Terminator brick hiding behind the wall. So when you come deal with it, they're either going to heroic through the wall or they're going to come out. And I think it will cause an incredibly hard problem for your opponent to solve. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. So, I would drop either the Lord of Contagion or the Lord of Virulence, and I would drop one hauler to get you a Demon Prince in there, because what it's going to do is you can put that guy out there forcing that interaction And you're forcing them to have to come in because they can't shoot you outside of 12. Then they're going to get inside of 12, and he's got good enough survivability that he's going to be a pain to kill. So that would be my suggestion. Pray you don't fight an army with a lot of fights first. All right. Who we got next? Is it the Stark Angel guy, Jace? I'm going to guess so. All right. So we got Dark Angels, Wrath of the Rock, Azrael, Terminator for Deep Strike. So this is Deep Strike on turn 1. You do not need this enhancement. And the second one, the Lion, Deathwing Knight. Interceptor, Inner Circle. Okay, so here's my 2 cents. You're like I love most of this. The Interceptor, I actually took these to the Dallas Open. They're not as good as you think they're going to be. Like against a skilled player, they're not going to do as much as you think. And I think you're better suited just literally going, hey, I'm going to turn these jump back intercessors into vanguards, and I'm going to get a second vanguard unit because that's going to. I think you're going to feel a whole lot better than I would personally get rid of the ancient weapon enhancement, which I think is like 20 points. So you got like now you're at like 50 points. I'm not in love with the Inner Circle companions personally. Right now, hashtag 11th edition, I think they may be cooking, but until then, I think you need to wait about 2 weeks personally. So what I would do is you're already going to have about 40-ish points. I think that you're better suited with this list and the way it's currently constructed. This guy right here, you're going to take those 30 points. We're going to steal 10 points of it, turn this guy into a Landspeeder Vengeance. Then I would turn this other Inner Circle companion into a Landspeeder Vengeance. And then the leftover like 60 to 70 points you have left, you're going to turn into either a Scout Squad or an Assault Intercessor Squad. Just a good point monkey, and you'll have a more complete army because Dark Angels want to play honest Warhammer, or at least the build you're trying to do is. But I think what you're going to struggle with is you don't like you have one tank, and if you go against somebody who's shooting, they're going to go okay. And Rep X's are tough, but when they're by themselves, they're easy to kill. And so I think it's just going to die. You're going to bring your Terminators in on their point. You're going to have yours on your point, and you're going to have a hard time holding the middle. But now you have the shooting to take it off the middle. If you want to leave the Inner Circle companions, you absolutely can. But if you're going to leave the Inner Circle companions, I would 100% turn these Interceptors into a second Vanguard squad so that you've got that. And yeah, that would if you want to keep the list as clean and close to it as, that's what I'd do. All right, I think Jace is back. I'm guessing we're on Just Bill now.
Let me take a look. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, now I can.
All right, which one did you just finish with?
The Dark Angel list that was like the revolution revitalization camp.
Let's see.
So I'm guessing Just Bill. It looks like that's who's next.
Yeah, Just Bill is.
Been playing 20 years, and I just want to get back using Eldar. It's cool to play, but man. So here's the deal, my boy. It ain't you, okay? Eldar have been the worst army in the game, or the second worst, pretty much bouncing back and forth since January. I just coincidentally decided to pick up Eldar in January, and they're it's rough. It's real rough. It's real rough. Spirit Conclave is a tough way to play. It requires a ton of synergy because you have to have everything right next to each other. The Wraith Blades are like, I love them. I think they're amazing. They're horrible. They are horrible. Poo-poo diarrhea bad. No. So literally all of these, put them on the shelf, and we're going to pray for 11th edition. Okay, brother? Wave Serpent is solid. You don't need 2 of them. I don't even know what you're putting in 2 of them. The Storm Guardians and What are you putting in the second one? I don't. Not the Wraith Lords. Not the Warp Spider. I think can Warp Spiders go into transport? I guess they could. Don't. So I would completely retool this list. Just Bill, are you watching? That's the army I played 20 years ago. Got it. Do you own like a healthy amount of Eldar, or is this like kind of what you own? Because that'll have a big like determining factor. I'm really hoping that you're going to say that you own a bunch.
Yeah.
I added the list I own. Okay. So here's what we're going to do, man. Here's what we're going to do. Since you're an OG and you're wanting to get back. Oh, this is the list I own. Okay. Okay. We're going to have to build you a very, very weird list. Yeah. So here's what I'll offer you. Just because you're getting back in the hobby. If you want, jump in you're already in our Discord. My name is Drake in the Discord. Yeah, now he is right. I have picked up some deals with some Eldar because there are some elitists that are rage quitting the faction. So great time to pick them up. So ping me on Discord and I will connect with you this week and I will help you build, because it's going to take a lot longer than 5 minutes to build out an army. And we'll talk about how you like to play elves and and all that. And I will help you like custom build an army, brother.
I am here. I'm just on my cellular phone now because my internet's crap in bed.
All right. So I think next is going to be
the Judgmenter.
The Judgmenter. Oh, dude, me and him talked, I think last night. If I remember right, he is a kind gentleman in the armed services that is full of the tism. If I remember correctly, that is the gentleman I spoke with. Yep, Scintillating Legion. Yeah, he's a crazy person. So if this guy is playing in the tournament, he is a straight-ass bully because he's running 6 monsters, basically, and then 2 little data sheets. So here is the problem, the same problem I told you with this list last night. If you're playing a newer to an intermediate player, you are probably going to mud stomp them into the ground because they're not going to know how to deal with the stat check. The moment that you deal with a more experienced player that goes, Warhammer is not actually about killing, it's about standing on funny circles and shaking your hand in the air and yelling cleanse, you're gonna struggle mightily. You're always going to do great on killing, but I think you'll struggle mightily. Or someone that knows their profile well enough to know, like, if I launch this, so we had sisters earlier. If someone goes, if I launch my immolator bomb at your Lord of Change, I know it will statistically do 12 damage, making this up, right? If they know, like, their stats well enough, that's where you're going to, like, you're gonna struggle. So the where I think this list would really, really thrive is you don't need 3 Lord of Change and Fate Weaver. I think that is, in my opinion, it's overkill. I think if you dropped one of them, so i.e. drop the Lord of Change that that doesn't have the enhancement, or drop Fate Weaver, and then pick up some other units that allow you to do screens, do things like that. I think this list is actually a good list. I think you will play better into better players. So that would be my 2 cents, man. I don't know demons well enough to tell you what units to take. I just know that I've played a lot of demons, and every time I go, like, if I go across the board and I see like 3 to 4 big monsters and then a bunch of like circus freaks along with them, I'm like, ugh. And I know I have to play a good game of Warhammer or I'm going to lose. Every time I go up against, a demon's list or anybody, and they've got like 4 or 5 big monsters, they get to that 6. I go, oh, this is going to be easy. This is easy. I'm going to control the board. I'm going to push out there. He's going to play deathmatch. I'm going to kill 2 of his big stomping monsters, and then he's not going to be able to score enough points. I'm going to be dead on turn 5, but I'm still going to win by like 15 points because he'll score all the points in the world on turn 5, but you'll be so far ahead it won't matter. Okay.
The next one is somebody who loves TA because there's somebody I used to know.
Somebody I used to know. Yep. All right. Champions of Faith. All right. Okay, Vol, Celestine, Triumph. Holy shit. I haven't ran the Triumph since they old yellowed her. Let's see. Hospitaller. Wow. Okay, so you're running a Palatine and a Hospitaller. You're only running one thing of Sacrosanct. So here's the thing. So the list that you're okay, couple things. Don't play Seraphim, especially 10 of them. They're not good. So the list that you're playing right here is a Hallowed Martyrs list, not a Champions of Faith list. So I would first and foremost, if you want to just keep this list mostly intact and just turn your Seraphim into a Castigator, you've got yourself a Hallowed Martyrs list right here. If you said, you know what? Okay, flip that. Here's what I want to do. I want to play Champions of Faith. Champions of Faith is centered around the concept that you're going to have these Sacrosanct bricks that are super tough. You're going to put them out there, and you're going to go, come get it. And so if you're going to do that, I would strongly recommend you drop 1 Battle Sister squad. You're going to drop the Rhino. You're going to drop. So here's what's going to happen. You do need some fire support. Okay. So you're going to, the Dominions. And so the Dominions and the Rhino is basically 200 points. I understand it's 5 points shy. That is going to be a Hospitaller and another Sacrosanct brick. Okay, so we got no Dominions and no Rhino. Then your Seraphim brick, we're going to cut your Seraphim brick, and we're going to cut 1 Battle Sister. I'll steal those 5 points. So now you have 260. There is your 3rd Sacrosanct brick. And those last 60 points, I would honestly probably take if I did my math right and that's where you're at, I'd take a Canoness. If you really want to play it, you can play it with the Palatine. If you're playing with the Palatine, the way to play it is Hospitaller unit goes out first. You're going to send your other Hospitaller with 10 to your expansion, and they're going to hold it the whole game. And I know that 200 points over there seems crazy. If they score you 20 points, they rock. You're going to send you're going to send your Hospitaller out, and you're going to have that other Palatine behind the wall ready to go. And their job is to be the counter punch. They're going to be the 3rd unit of Sacrosaints that go out into the board. The reason a lot of people don't play Champions of Faith other than online is because they don't own 30 Sacrosaints, because Games Workshop are assholes and they sell them in boxes of 5, which means you literally have to buy 6 boxes of them to get them all. If you're going to do it, the ones with the Hospitallers have spears. The ones with the have maces. The ones with the Palatine have obviously going to have your spears. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Yeah, Champions of Faith is like Sisters is not an expensive army to play. I mean, they're my main army, but Champions of Faith is fucking expensive to play. All right, who we got next? Is it this Ultramarine guy?
I believe so. And I find it yeah, it's Lee T, and I'm shocked that we're just now finding out that Games Workshop's a bunch of assholes.
Yeah. So they did. So hot take. You could once one of the older combat patrols. So if you check some of like your game stores, had a box that had 10 Battle Sisters. It had 10 Sacrosaints and I think a Rhino and maybe a Penitent engine, if I remember, or Arcos and a Penitent engine. I can't remember. It was a weird box because it came with 4 Arcos, and you can't run 4 Arcos with anything. So it's a very weird combat patrol. I think it was from like late 9th, early 10th. I still see it in stores from time to time, but it's actually not a bad way to do it because you could buy it and then you could piecemeal sell the other one. Yeah. Boarding actions, yeah. Okay, Ultramarines, Blade of Ultramar. Captain oh, you're running Titus. Okay, let's see if there's any notes here. Because if I see you're running Titus, it probably tells me this is a flavor list or you're newer. Struggling to hold it. Not scoring secondary as well. Sometimes getting tabled. Okay, all right. We got all the problems. Not scoring, getting tabled. All right. So Titus is not a competitive unit. So bye, Titus. Kato is good. Calgar is good. So jump. Okay, 3 jumps, way too much. Ballistas, Blade Guards, don't like the Blade Guards. Company of Heroes, don't like the Company of Heroes. Lancer. Okay, so I'm gonna go out on a limb. Is this guy in chat? Do we know? So I'm gonna operate with this is like most of the units you have. So Blade of Ultramar, Wardens of Ultramar, outstanding. They are a sensational unit to either push out on the midpoint and just be like, come get it, or put on your expansion point, let them hold it all game. Love it. Vitrix Guard with Kato, love it. That's your counterpunch in mid. It's great. Scouts, great. Infiltrators, good. I will tell you, as you practice more, they're a luxury that you don't need, but I think they're great as you're learning. If you're going to run this, run 2 Lancers. Don't just run 2 Lancers, because right now you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle into the big stuff, and Ballistas Dreadnoughts are really great at killing elite. They're not as great at killing the big stuff. Company of Heroes, we're going to scrap. We're going to scrap the Blade Guard vets as well. So if you're going to do this, I would go ahead and so that'd be 270. Get you a second squad of Vitrix. That gives you like 50 points left over. And we're going to get rid of this jump pack, and we're going to put a leader with that second squad for your other points, and you're going to have a much better option because now you can actually bring 2 Vitrix forward. You've got some gun line in the back that's going to shoot and provide some shooting support. The only thing that you might do if you don't want to run the second Vitrix, if you have a repulsor executioner, you like Ultramarines love Rep X's. They love their Rep X's. I would personally look at, you could turn these 2, your Company of Heroes and your Blade Guard vets, which really aren't doing anything. You could turn the 2 of them into a repulsor executioner. You're going to have like 30 points left over. Then Captain Titus with those 30 points, that's 120 points. You then also have this jump pack, so that's going to be what, 210-ish? So 210. So we're what, 10 points shy of a Vitrix Guard unit? Yeah, I think we're 10 points shy of a Vitrix Guard unit. What do you have holding your home point? Yeah, so then you're 10 points shy of a Vitrix Guard unit. You turn this Infiltrator squad into just some like regular intercessors for 80 points to hold your home point, make it sticky, do all that good stuff. They're going to give you 20 more points, which lets you pick up your second Vitrix Guard unit. That gives you multiple melee punches. It gives you real shooting presence with 2 Lancers and because at that point, keep in mind, you're going to have 2 Lancers, you're going to have a Rep X, and you're going to have 5 shooting platforms. You're a gun army that has counterpunch to say, if you come in here, you're going to die, and you're using your other stuff to score. So that'd be my 2 cents, man. Without completely ripping apart the list, that would be how I would tweak it. By the way, you could proxy, a lot of the units that you already have for the other ones that I was suggesting. All right, keep it on.
Next list is by Sunday Silence with some wee-woo.
Wee-woo. Sunday Silence. Oh, yeah, he's the guy that boosted the server so that we got all the cool new, you know what? He gets us.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We're going to give you this guy drinking a little commissar drinking a cup. Help boost the server. Give us some fun little emoji. If we get, I think we need one more boost to the server and we can actually have server tags, which is kind of cool. All right. Why don't you like Blade Guard? I don't like Blade Guard because they don't do anything particularly amazing. Their profile is great into like guardsmen and sisters and things like that. But when you start fighting into anything else, their profile is okay. And they really need to initiate it. Okay. This is what I'm doing for the tourney. I know. Okay. Oh, he's playing the cockroaches.
Oh, is this the
Yeah, he's playing GSC, baby. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. I'm going to have a hard time giving you advice because here's what I'll do for you. First, do the boost of the server. And I have no idea. I will play a private game with you, or we can stream it. I don't care. So Sunday, hit me up in the Discord. You and I will play a game, and I'll give you some feedback once I can play it and understand it. Because to be honest with you, I played Gene Stealers like 4 or 5 times, and I've stomped them into oblivion every time. So I have no idea what advice to give you because every time I've played them, I've never really, I know they could be good. I've never seen it. So I don't know what advice to give you because I don't have enough reps into it. So I'll play a game with you. And what we can do is, while I may not know exactly the units, I can spot out maybe some tactics that hey, you need to think about this when you're deploying, or hey, you need to think about this. And so I'll try my best to help you with that.
By the way, golf clap to him for being one of the first ones to get his game in for the tournament.
Oh, we already played?
Yeah, they were the ones playing up above us.
My goopa. I love it. He's running. Listen, this like, as far as I'm concerned, he needs some bonus. No, that's a different GSC player that's playing up there.
Oh, I didn't know we had more than one.
He said, this is the best part of this list. A goddamn shadow sword.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I love it, man. I love it. All right. Hit me up, man. We'll find a time. We'll find a time. We'll get down. All right.
Another Iron Hands list by Vagrant.
Listen. Okay. All right. Let's see what he says here. Bring more Titanic models. Hell yeah. All right. Let's see. What do we got? To send the land grader. We're going to the top. Yep. So I like your plan. Let me read the list. Ancient, Guard, Marine. I don't know if you're going to need the Tech Marine. What do you got? Bliss, 2 Lancers. Do you? Are you in the chat? If you're in the chat, my question is do you have a Repulsor Executioner? Let's see. Dreadnought, Terminator. Okay. So while we wait to see if he's got, I'm gonna hope that you have one. Otherwise, we're gonna just proxy and oh, here he is. You just jumped to Discord. What's up, man? Do you have a Repulsor Executioner?
No, I don't have a Repulsor Executioner.
All right. Are you playing in an in-person tournament anytime soon where you need this list for it? Or is this for like tabletop and playing with buddies?
I have a tournament on May 2nd.
Okay. All right. Well, there we go. Do you plan on buying a Rep X before May 2nd?
I can look into it, but I don't know if it's really worth it or not because I thought the Gladiator Lancers would be better.
So here's the problem. Gladiator Lancers, they are good. But the problem is that in the current meta, with the way their gun profile is set, it's basically just 2 shots. That's all they have. And so while Gladiator Lancers are better into like a thick target, the Repulsor Executioner is great for your army because it's good into everything. It kills elite troops, it kills chaff, and it has the two shots into a big target. And so it fills a lot of those voids. The other thing is that it specializes at killing things when they're hurt. So like it's great to be like the last thing you shoot in your army, because you could go, okay, I've shot this. Wait a minute, that thing over there is below half health, so I'm only going to shoot a few guns because now its ability kicks in. So like my recommendation would be with this list would be to go, okay, we got to turn Gladiator Lancer into that Rep-X that we need. Like literally all we've got to do. So you're looking at, that's their 160. If we got rid of the Tech Marine, then you go to one.
The thing is, the Tech Marines help like with the ballista skill, and they can repair the vehicles. I thought maybe.
I got a different plan for that.
Okay.
Different plan for that. So what I would do is with the plan that you've got, you don't need fights first. Okay.
Okay, really? I would think having fight first and like in the middle would be like kind of like countercharge.
It is, but they're just going to shoot you. So most armies, what's going to happen is most armies, like if you're playing a pure melee army, that's one thing. Most armies, because you got to keep in mind, you got a 10-man Terminator brick that once it moves the side, it's coming middle, right? It's coming middle immediately. So you don't have to necessarily fear like prolonged engagements with your blade guards. Okay. So if you said, I'm going to take Gladiator Lancer and the Tech Marine, and then I'm going to turn the Judicar into a Blade Guard Ancient, you'll have enough points to upgrade your Gladiator Lancer into a Repulsor Executioner. Okay. And literally the only thing your list is going to lose is the Tech Marine, which I have something for that. Okay. And your army will fundamentally play the same. The difference is where, yes, the Judicar does have some damage, 100%. But if you remember, the Blade Guard Ancient has a once per game, I'm just going to give everybody in my unit an additional attack. So your go turn will actually hit just as hard because you're going to get an extra swing with all of those. Then if they do countercharge you, you're going to pick, hey, I want to reroll ones to save, right, on that 4-up invone, which basically turns you to a 3-up invone, which is pretty tough. And that gives you time for your Terminators to countercharge across the board. The other thing, too, keep in mind, you've got that Land Raider sitting right behind them. And then behind that, you got a Repulsor Executioner. So you've got two Toughness 12 and Toughness 11 vehicles that are just staring at the middle. Meanwhile, you got a Ballistic Dreadnought supporting one side. You got a Gladiator that can float around the middle and shoot wherever you need. The last tweak that I might look at doing is, and this is just a personal preference, you figure out like how you like it, is I don't know, like I'm assuming you're using the heavy intercessors to kind of like push up your expansion side, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I usually use them with Iron Father Pharaohs and they get the 5-up feel no pain, and I usually try to like stick with them.
I think it's a solid unit. So literally that's the only change I'd make, man. I would upgrade a Lancer into a Rep-X, which means that you'll lose the Tech Marine, but it's such a better shooting platform. You'll notice a higher damage output with that upgrade than you will with him giving one unit that plus to ballistic skill. And then the Judicar switch, like you should notice the fight first because you've got those Terminators that are swinging, and your shooting is going to be so much more efficient that you're there. If you really are struggling, you can always downgrade your Land Raider and pick up like some Incursors or something like that. If you really need to, because
the Land Raider is one of my favorite things to bring.
I know, I love it too. I have 3 Dark Angel Land Raiders, and like I play them in like Armageddon games, and they're just so much gosh darn fun. But they're actually good in Iron Hands, so that'd be my recommendation, man. I think you'll have a good list. I think the only thing you'll struggle with is if somebody has a lot of shenanigan moves. I think they're going to try to move out of line of sight and stuff like that. That could be a little tricky. But I think you have a good, honest Warhammer list with good fire support at that point.
All right, so I'm switching the Blade Guard Ancient, the Jude card to the Blade Guard Ancient.
Yep.
And I'm losing the Tech Marine to what now again?
So you're just losing the Tech Marine, and then you're going to lose one Gladiator Lancer, and you should have enough points to add a Repulsor Executioner.
Okay, so I still have one Lancer then. Okay.
Yep. So you'd still have one Lancer. Absolutely.
Yeah, I have not 1975, and so I have enough to.
Yeah. So you have so then where the real tell of the tape is like, do you want to drop the enhancements? Because you had an enhancement on the Judicar I didn't notice there. So like you could pick up an enhancement on the Blade Guard Ancient if you want, or you could drop the other enhancement and try to pick up a cheap unit. I think you're better off putting an enhancement on the Blade Guard Ancient.
Yeah, because I'm not losing Steel Front. The regain one.
It's very good.
The one thing is
it's very good.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Happy to help, man.
To get out of the chat.
You're all good, brother. All right. Who we got next? To Chad? Is that who's next, Jace?
It is the Chad.
The Chad. Let's see. You are very welcome. Yeah, the other thing too, someone in the chat just stated too, I do think it is important, like with 11th edition right around the corner, it helps you practice for against fight first is more or less going away. Every time I run fight first units, I'm disappointed because you just beat up on shitty players. Good players know how to get around it, and then you're like, man, I played this extra freaking points for nothing.
Yeah, good players know how to get around it until they forget to charge 3 other units.
Shut up. One time. Happened one time. All right, the Chad is here.
All it takes, baby.
The Chad is here. All right, what do we got? Chad. The Chad. Oh, of course the Chad is Imperial Knights. This motherfucker. I love it. All right, Castellan, Lancer. Okay. You're only running 2 bigs? Hold on. Oh no, Night Crusader.
Look, you ain't paying attention. He got some bitches in there.
Hold on. What? I didn't give you permission to run any of my sisters. This motherfucker. All right. Hold on. Now I gotta reread this list. Okay. So, we got a Lancer, a Castellan, a Crusader. Oh, yeah, you got the new pony. Okay. I'm very curious to see how the pony plays. I like him. I really like him points-wise. I'm curious to see how he performs on the tabletop. 1 Warglaive. Okay. I love Calidus on Knights. I think it's so good. Taxing players when they need, because they are going to need that economy to kill the big stuff. Let's see. You got an Emmy to split Battle Sisters, so you can put 5 on the home point, and then you can send 5 out there. Then I actually think this is a really cool list. My one question would be, and this is just like the Giga Chad in me, when I'm looking at Knights, it's so hard for me to go like the Crusader. So many points is this? This is exactly 2,000 points. Okay. I would personally turn that crew. I don't know where we're going to get 15 points. I guess we drop Hunter's Eye. Yeah, we drop Hunter's. No, that's with Hunter's Eye. I want a second Lancer. That's all. I literally, if you told me that I could sub out that Crusader for a second Lancer, because I think what this list is going to do is you can hold your home point. You actually have a really good Melt-A-Bomb with the Battle Sisters and the Immolator charging into something. Calidus is going to help you score your points and Vectum, right? The Armiger gives you something early to push out onto the midpoint. You can go, ha, ha, ha. You know, your Castellan and the new little baby knight actually give you really good shooting and mid-range stuff. The thing is if you have 2 Lancers that you can just, stage on turn 1 and then on turn 2 or 3, just charge straight into their throat, Man, that sucks. Yeah, I know the Crusader with ignore. Like, here's the thing. I actually think your list is really good. I don't have any tweaks for it. The only thing I would say is that, like, if you got a second Lancer in there, I think you could put like a debilitating amount of pressure. I mean, maybe the Knight Castellan, maybe you drop the Castellan and you pick up a second Lancer that way. Because a Lancer with Mysterious Guardian is also just an asshole move. This is my in-person list. Yeah, if it's your in-person list, I actually think it's a solid list. Only thing you need to be careful of, because you're a little light in the pants on units, is you need to be cautious of rapid ingresses. Yeah, all good. So I think this is a good list then. So then I'll just give you a little coaching tip. If I was playing your list right now, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to put pressure forward hard because I know you got great shooting and you're going to kill some stuff, but I don't care. I'm just trying to keep you back for a turn, because then when you come forward, I'm going to rapid ingress something that can really, really hurt your knight. So then it can shoot a knight. I can pull something else out, because where your list is going to fall apart super duper duper quick is as soon as one of those big knights goes down on turn 2 or turn 3, you're going to have a really hard time because they're going to just start walking. Some armies are going to just walk you down. So like, I'm thinking about like right now, the Bringers of Flame list I'm playing with Sisters. Like if I sent 2 immolator bombs straight at your Crusader, they'll kill it. And then especially if I said, oh, these guys are coming forward, you didn't measure appropriately, and I get to bring some Retributors in from reserve, and I get to fire 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 Meltas into it. Like it's like they blow it up. And then even if you kill the stuff in clapback, you're not killing 400 points. And so that's where the fear of a list like this is. Yeah, that 6 up Phil Pain is going to really save you. I think it's a good list. I just be cognizant of shooting lanes and off the board presences, because you may factor in like, okay, yeah, that unit can't kill me, but what does he have off the board? So that'd be my advice. All right, who we got now?
We've got Eagerly.
30 minutes left. How are we doing? I think are we going to make it through all of them?
I think we got 3 lists.
Shit, we're going to make it through all of them. I love it. So if anybody else has got a list, drop it in the chat. We will try to get to you. All right, we just did the Chad. Okay. Hi. There's a big tournament in my local area, and I'm losing sleep about my list. Do you have any tips? My boy, listen here. I've been playing for 5 years. And when I have a tournament coming up, literally, this is what happens to me every night when I lay in bed. I lay in bed, and I get on my phone, and I do this, and I tear apart my list and rebuild it for about 15 minutes before I fall asleep every single night. And then I go, stop it, and I plug my phone in and go to sleep. So do not feel bad. Like, sorry, I wouldn't know how to equip the Repulsor Executioner. Hit me up in Discord, brother. I got you. I'm going to try to, if I've got time at the end, I'll jump back onto your list and I'll help you build it together if we've got extra time at the end of the stream. Otherwise, hit me up in Discord and I'll help you. Jace, if you'll scroll the chat and see if I missed any questions or anything, because if we've got time,
brother, I'm still on my cell phone, so
it must suck to be in backwoods Alabama where you got no internet.
It sucks to be in a subdivision that's being built and someone cuts your cable line.
Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, we're playing Death Card, Vortarian's Hammer. Okay, that's a bold move right there. Oh, it's 1,000 points. So this is a 1,000-point tournament? Yeah. I just want to make sure.
That explains the list then.
Yeah. Is this a 1,000-point tournament? Are you in chat? Okay, cool. 1,000-point tournaments, way different game. Here's my first question. Are you playing on because tournaments do this differently. Are you actually playing on a 1,000-point board size, or are they just saying fuck it and you're playing on a standard 2K board? You may not know, and that's okay. If you're playing on a 1,000-point board, yes. Okay, sweet. You're playing on a 1,000-point board. Awesome. Okay, cool. Completely changes the equation. Okay. Jason, am I crazy? Isn't Mortarion the tank detachment?
Mortarion's hammer is, and that's what I was looking at because I was like, man, for a 2,000 point list, this is light in the pants. But looking at it, it's starting to make more sense. And the choices that were made here. The only question is that in this detachment, it's not really as CP hungry as Virulent Victorum or something like that.
I want to switch to Virulent.
What's that?
I want him to switch to Virulent Victorum.
But Virulent Victorum has a lot more of your. So it's got a bigger toolbox than what
100%.
Mortarion's hammer is.
So next question. Is this what you own, or do we have some more? Do you have like a decent Death Guard collection that we can pillage through? Because I think you actually can play a really, really, really competitive game and have a really fun time. I own a lot more. My Goopa. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna switch over to Virulent Victorum. So here's the main reason. One of the dirty tricks that the Stinky Boys can do is the ability to make that point sticky. Okay, it is such a kick in the teeth when they, especially in a 1,000-point game where you don't have a lot of resources for them to be able to do that. So I love the triple bloat drone. I think that is outstanding in this. Here's what we're going to
pound for pound for the points.
Yep,
it's good.
It's so good. It's so good. We're going to get rid of the Terminators. Okay. I like the 2 Poxwalkers because you can put one in the backfield. With 10, you're completely screened. The other one can move forward towards the expansion, and you are cooking. Please read.
Keep the tally, man.
Hold on. He's saying I need to read something. Okay, can you just give me the cliff notes of why we don't use VV? I don't see it. It's in the YouTube chat, he says. It's in the YouTube chats. Okay.
So what he's wanting to do is from just gathering, he wants to be able to immediately say, I'm choosing 2 units that's more than 12 inches away from me, automatically putting them into contagion. That way he can 6-inch deep strike those Death Shroud on top of, which would be a nightmare in a 1,000-point list for someone to deal with.
Yeah, it is. So if that's the play pattern you want to play, then I actually think your list is pretty solid. The only thing you could maybe tweak is we might pull out the Plague Marines, and you might take like a Blight Hauler if we can find 5 points. I don't know if you have an enhancement we could drop. Yeah, you get 2 enhancements, so we can potentially drop one of them so that you could get a hauler. So you just have another mobile unit that can get out there and do things. All I was going to suggest for the VV. So I think this is a good list because I do agree with you. Being able to drop those like that Terminator brick in the backfield is going to be annoying. Here's the only thing you got to think about. Okay, if you do it, so here's the coaching tip. If you do it, you have to go with it. You have to go with it because otherwise they're going to focus fire their army. Your hot mic and Jason. They're going to focus fire that army into those 3 Terminators, and they're going to die before the rest of your army gets there to support them. So just make sure when you decide to drop them in the back line and really get in somebody's grill, that you are also pushing forward with those bloat drones and you're pushing your initiative. A lot of the time, what a lot of people say is that they're like, I'm just having trouble like closing games out. When you have your foot on someone's throat, you got to just keep the gas down and go. So if you're going to play that because you want to be able to drop your Terminators back on them, totally get it. But just make sure you go with the rest of your army. Otherwise, they're going to be on an island. If that makes sense.
May I make a suggestion?
Get it, brother.
Honestly, I would probably drop the Plague Caster and the enhancement. It gives you 90 points. You put your Plague Marines in it because a walking Plague Marine is a dead Plague Marine.
Oh, you're talking about getting them a Rhino?
Getting them a Rhino.
Yeah, I can see
That
that.
way you can shove them up the board, and then you can use the Rhino. You can go in and tank shock as kind of like a distraction for your deep strike.
100%.
You can score points with your Rhino. You
100%.
can strategically drop off your Plague Marines in a spot that you want them. Because, I mean, with 5 inches of move, they might be tough, but they're still killable. And you're going to need to find a way to support those Death Shroud that are going in. And depending on the setup of the Plague Marines, they can do the job. It's just foot slogging. It's going to take a minute.
Completely
so my
agree.
suggestion would be drop the Plague Caster and its enhancement, and that gives you the 90 points for the Rhino on the nose.
Love it. All right. Hopefully that's helpful, man. I don't know if you're playing in the tournament that we're having, but it's a great place for you to get some practice in. The other thing too is in the looking for group channel up here, like, the post in there and just be like, hey, I need a practice game. I'm trying to practice my 1,000-point list. Because 1,000-point games only take like an hour and a half, and somebody would be happy to play with you.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're nervous about a list, always try to get some reps and try to see what's working and what's not.
All right. We got what, Job now?
Believe so.
Let's see. What do we got here? Let me switch my screen share because he sent it in the paste bin. All right. Oh, that's tiny. All right. Seer Council. Howling Banshees without Jane Czar. You crazy motherfucker. Striking Scorpions. 2 Rangers. Okay. Oh, you're running. Yeah, I know you got the. I know you got the Altark with him. I just don't like him. Okay, so you're going very, very vehicle heavy. Interesting, which is interesting. For your this is shit. Well, okay, so here's the advantage that you do have with the 2 War Walkers. Your Wraith Lords and your Fire Prisms, when they're shooting, it's -5. So unless they've got an invuln, they're just straight up not saving, which is nice, which is really, really nice. I do got 1 war. The Storm Guardians and the Defenders. I'm not in love with the triple battle line. Is there a reason for this? I don't mind the Void Reavers. 65 points for 2 OC models that are mediocre in melee. I don't hate. I'm not personally a fan of the Guardians or the Storm. Just because of Corsairs. Sith Psyker. Yeah. I mean, it's a fun list. No, I totally hear you, man. I think it's a fun list. I think unfortunately right now, Seer Council is a detachment where you have to play a perfect game. You have to play a perfect 40K game, just because the units are kind of overcosted, and so I think it's really hard. I think that outside of playing the Joker elves, so we're going to put them over there. The only two, in my opinion, actually like viable detachments are like, I think Seer Council's third, I think Warhost is second, and I think Aspect Host is first. So I don't know if you like either of those play styles. I think that the only thing that I would kind of tweak here is I really don't think that the Altark and the Howling Banshees are going to do a ton for you. I mean they're fine, but I would personally free those points up, and then I would take the D cannon platform, and if you have a pet, give it to your pet, put dog treats all over it, and then let them chew it and eat it, because it's from like 1992. It's ugly and it's horrible. So like I can understand the triple battle line. Aspect's a little expensive. You're not wrong. It is a little expensive. It's just it's our best attachment, I think. Like if you're trying to play like a little bit more competitive. And shit, you're running a lot of aspect units right now. I mean, you got Howling Banshees, you got Strikings, you got Warp Spiders, you know what I mean? So like you got a couple of them in there already. I think that my jury's still out on the Wraith Lord. I think the Wraith Lord can be good. I'm kind of like ping-ponging on how I do or don't like him. Same with the Warlock Conclaves. I'm kind of starting to come around on them a little bit. I think you've got enough psychers that you're good and you're cooking and you're great. I would personally free up this 85 points. I would free up this 95 points. I'd free up this 125 points. If you're going to go pure boom, boom, blasta elves, which is what it appears you're doing, I would go ahead and you got 95 here and 85 here. So that's going to be 180 points. So, I'd spend 150 of them and just get you a damn third Fire Prism. So you got 3 of them. You got 30 points left over, and then get rid of your platform. So now you got another 155. And if you're just going to go boom, boom, have 3 Wraith Lords and 3 Fire Prisms. And I think you're going to find that your unit is like, if you're trying to just go like, I'm going to lay some fire down, you're going to have more shooting because you already have a bunch of little units to run around. If you're just trying to play like a really, really shooty, I'm gonna get into it. Yeah, I don't think killing is gonna be a problem. I really don't like whether it's this way or the way I just kind of suggested you go into. I do not think killing is gonna be the problem. I think surviving is gonna suck. Yeah, I think surviving is going to be what sucks. You're going to probably play a whole lot of games where your Wraith Lords and some of your Fire Prisms are the only things left alive. And you're going to be like advancing Fire Prisms to get them on a point to score at the bottom of turn 5. Yeah, so that would be my recommendation. If you make those moves, you should be able to pick up a 3rd Wraith and a 3rd Fire, and then you're going to have absolutely disgusting fire support, and I think you can really overwhelm some people. I think the only downside you're going to have is, can I kill them before they kill me? Because you're playing murder ball. All right, let me share the window back. I think who we got. Did I lose Jace? Did I lose my Mr. I don't have internet? Or is he back? No, he's lighting up, but he's not here. Okay, Tau. Oh, we got another wee woo. Okay, you're not saying what you're having a problem with, so let's look and see what we got here. Okay, all right. Demonka. All right, Commander. Do you know if if our wee woo is in chat? in case you have any questions. All right, Commander, Crew, Twin Lance. Oh, he's got the Twin Lance. So surprised. Hammerhead, Crew. Interesting. Hold on. I want to look at something real quick. I want to look at something before I give you any 2 cents real quick. Un momento, por favor. So I actually like your list a lot. You have good shooting, but the sexy thing is like nothing in your list is there's a couple ways you can play. There's I'm going to play large gun platforms that can kill everything. So you're playing more of your Riptides, your ghost kills, like those things. Or you go, I'm going to play MSU where I have a whole lot of units, and outside of like 1 or 2 things, like you have 2 Riptides, but the rest of your stuff is very MSU friendly. Yeah, I'd be curious if you're in chat. Appreciate you, Malcolm. Appreciate you, my man. If I'd be curious what you're struggling with, because it'd be a lot easier to explain that way. Because the only thing I would change if I was going to change something, I'd completely change the list. So it wouldn't be like, okay, let's take this unit away to upgrade this. Because I kind of like you basically have a big broadside unit. And then you've got the your Riptides. And Twin Lance is going to run around and do Twin Lancey things, but then everything else is very MSU-y. So I'd be curious what you're struggling with. I think the only thing about this list that is you need to be careful about is if you lose either that broadside or one of those Riptides early, you lose a lot of your threat projection. Because your Pathfinders and your crew and all that stuff is going to be fine at killing chaff. But, I think you have a good list. I think Tower in a really, really good place. Without knowing what you struggle on, man, I don't have any feedback. I apologize. Send me a message and let me know what you're struggling with, and I'd be happy to give you my 2 cents. But without knowing that, it's tough for me to give you any more feedback. Apologies. All right. Let's see. I got to bounce. I got an appointment. Oh, we just missed him by like 10 minutes. If you're watching the replay, man, hit me up. It's Drake on Discord. Hit me up, and I will help you out. And let's chat about whatever you're struggling with, and I'll give you my 2 cents. I like your list though, man. I really do. Oh, he's back. He's got another list. All right. You and Gene, before I do your second list, let me let everybody have one crack. All right, what do we got here? Tyranids Invasion Fleet. All right. I think I just heard one of my kids wake up. Interesting. Okay. Playing my first game of 10th, this list on Thursday, probably into Orcs. Oh, you're playing Orcs. Okay. Okay, this is your list. Do you want me to tailor your list to fight Orcs? Or just give you an overall list? Because I could tailor this list to fight Orcs. He's like, yeah, let's kill some Orcs. Okay, so okay, so let's do this. So I love the 3 lictors. I think that's great. So your Neurotyrant, if I remember right, the Neurotyrant is the guy that leads the Zoanthropes, which are the little like brain bugs, if my memory serves me correct. I know what they all look like. I'm just trying to remember their names. But Zoanthropes hit like a brick shithouse, but they're slow as molasses. Yeah. Brain bug leader. Yeah. Okay, good. So here's the thing. If you're not already doing this, you should start them off the board and rapid ingress them in, unless if you have like a super open layout, because orcs have no shooting whatsoever that you need to like pay attention to. So like if you're going to do it the other way, I want you to put 10 termagants in front of your brain bugs, and I want you to make like a C shape, and you're literally going to move them forward with basically a double stack of bugs in front of them of those 10, and they're literally just going to play screen wall, and those things are going to shoot and murder kill anything that gets in their way. Okay, and you're going to park them, kind of in the middle so that they can just lay hate on anything that comes into the middle. But you need 4 inches away. I want you to make a C shape with 10 termagants as literally just a screen. That's what they are. They're just going to be a screen so that you can't get charged. If you have a third exocrine, I want you to drop the Gene Stealers, and you probably have a Brood Lord. Yep. So we're going to drop the Gene Stealers and the Brood Lord, and the Gene Stealers will immediately just turn into a third exocrine. Exocrine are sensational into orcs or like elite quote unquote infantry, and it's going to be great. It's going to do awesome. So turn the Gene Stealers into an exocrine. You're gonna be cooking right there. Then what we're gonna do is we need to get another Maliceptor. Maliceptor is Norn is good. So here's what you're gonna do. The Norn is gonna go on your expansion objective, and that's where he lives. A lot of the time people want to put it on the middle. Don't do that. Put him on your expansion objective, and then you do not have to worry about it the rest of the game, because he's going to have to commit more than he wants to. And if he commits it to killing that, you win the game. If orcs commit to killing your Norn on your expansion, you win the game, because they don't have enough damage to kill him and fight the rest of your army. So what we need to do is if we drop the 20, so you got 10 termagants for your home point still. You got the Biovore and the other 10. Orcs are not a super deep strikey army, so those 10 termagants can kind of stand there, and then they can run into the middle and just do objective play. We could drop the Brood Lord and the 20 Hormagaunts, which should get you 210 points. So that gets us a Maliceptor, and you'll have 40 points left over. So you'd have 40 points. I don't really like the Tyrannid Prime with Lash Whip. What would he be leading? Like nothing. You don't have any warriors. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say that's on. So we've got 40 points. We dropped the other one. Now you got 105 points. Let me look at the bug roster. What are we cooking with 105 points? Let's see. What do you need? You got Lictors to score. You got Zoanthropes. You got 3 exocrines. You got 2 Maliceptors. You got your Norn. Get your Neuro for that. Your brute. You got. We got 105 points. What can we do with 105 points? What can we do with 105 points that actually brings value to the list? Hold on. Gargoyle Jail. I like it. A Prime is 105. What, a Tyrannid Prime? Winged Tyrannid Prime, maybe? No. What's 105 points? Yeah, I don't hate some gargoyles. How much are gargoyles? How much are gargoyles? Let's see. Oh, what are they actually called? Are they there? Gargoyles. 85. Yeah, I hate having 20 points left over in a list, so we need an attachment. So you get 20 points to take an attachment, but I don't hate the gargoyles. Hive Tyrant has. Oh, okay. And you're cooking. Yeah, you're cooking. So yeah, we'll take him out. We'll get some. You get some gargoyles, and now you're good. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I just think into orcs, I like the concept of having, because you got the Norn on the expansion point. He's going to be able to throw 2 Maliceptors straight into the middle with their auras. He's going to have 3 Exocrine firing, giving with Zone Thropes as fire support. It just becomes a very, very, very bad matchup for them because you've got tough stuff in the middle that they're going to struggle to get through and kill. They're going to struggle to kill those Maliceptors. And then they're also going to have then when you layer in all the fire support of stuff you're killing, I think they're gonna have a really bad day. I think they're gonna have a really bad day. And gargoyles just allow you to go out there and screen something else and block off more space. So that'd be my 2 cents, man, against orcs. And most importantly, if it's your first game of 10, just have some fun, man. Have some fun. All right. Another Tau, another wee woo. All right. Wee woo. Okay. You're very welcome, sir. Let's see. Banka. All right. Twin Lance. All right. Ethereal. I don't love ethereals. Parasite team. This is a weird list. Twin Lance. Strike team, broadside, ghost keel. I like ghost keels. Hammerhead, Kroot, Pathfinder, Piranha, Riptide, Skybray. Are you in the chat? Can you tell me what you're struggling with? The only thing I don't like about your list versus the other guy's list is Riptide's a really good unit. It's a really good unit. You only have 1. I'd love to see a second one, but I want to know if there's something you're struggling with in particular. I'm gonna guess you're not here. So you'll be watching the VOD. So here's what I would do. I'd get rid of one of your gunships. Oh, I'm experimenting with less. I've run through the past, but I decided to broaden your horizons. Okay, I can dig it, brother. I can dig it. Okay, so if that's the case, that's totally cool. I can dig that. Then do you have a second ghost kill? I got a cool strategy you can try here. If you have 2 ghost kills, but you got to have at least a second one. So I'm going to assume you have a second one because you seem like a. Yep. Okay. So the whole thing with what you're doing there is we'll take out one gunship, one Skyray gunship, and we need to steal 10 points somewhere. You have a bunch of strats. I like the one though. I like the one a lot. Probably take off Strike Swiftly, because if you take off Strike Swiftly, you get rid of the gunship. You can get a second ghost kill. Here's the thing that's stupid dirty is putting 2 ghost kills, like running them like a pair, and you literally are going to run them at, you're going to commit them to your opponent's expansion objective, and that's it. The entire rest of your army is just centered around the 3 points and turtled up, because what's so fucking frustrating is when you have these 2 lone opt units that are just shooting and harassing your expansion objective, and you can't give it fire support with your other stuff because you're not close enough and you're dealing with the rest of their army. And then what ends up happening is you can't score points over on that side. It denies you a lot of secondary play. And depending on how much they have or haven't committed, you end up killing stuff off. You don't even need to take the point, just kill them off of it. and then you can begin shooting other stuff because you don't want them to move forward. It ends up being really, really annoying to deal with because a lot of armies don't have the answer to deal with it, or they don't have the unit strong enough to send out there and to deal with a pair of ghost kills. And so it creates this really difficult problem for your opponent to have to solve. So if you wanted to try something different with the way your list is currently constructed, that's what I would switch and how I would try it. Yeah, Sisters, like, listen, I'm saying this as a Sisters player. There are a couple of armies that you cannot base how your army plays. I personally think like Sisters, World Eaters, it obviously a really overpowered army. There's a couple of armies that are so unique in the way that they play that they don't play like other Warhammer armies. So like Tau, you play Tau, but like Tau, World Eaters, Sisters of Battle, probably Gene Stealer Cult. There's a couple of armies that like they play so uniquely. If that's what your buddy plays and you play them a lot, it can really skew your perspective of how your army does because you're playing into a very niche stereotype. It's like Grey Knights with all the uppy downy. So like that's not how every army plays. So I agree with you. Against normal armies, it's going to be a lot less fun. Sisters are uniquely equipped because they're one of the best armies at trading up. They can send a dinky unit to kill a bigger unit. That's their whole niche. So I will never drop my Exorcist. Listen, dude, I no bullshit as we're wrapping up here. One of my favorite tournaments I've ever played in was a local 3-round tournament. You can actually see them. Hold on. Right there. There's my 3 Exorcists right there. An Immolator and 3 Exorcists. I took 3 Exorcists to a tournament and just proceeded to lay hate. And it was really, really fun. And then they got nerfed into the sun like a month later. But I think they're great. I'm very curious to see what they do with indirect fire. I have a speculation that they're going to nerf it into oblivion, even worse in 11th edition. But we'll find out. But I still, it is the indirect fire one. They can't hear you anymore, Jason, because I stopped screaming. But Jason had some very colorful words. He said the Exorcist is a very kind-hearted vehicle, and people that run it are saints. If you know Jason, I'm sure you know what he actually said. I appreciate the congrats on 5K. So yeah, that was really awesome that we hit it, guys. Like I didn't expect us to hit it in 5 months and do it that fast. That's really cool. But yeah. So I know several of you needed some help with some other stuff. Hit me up. I plan to end the stream right at 10, so we're right there on time. I am happy to help. Like I know I needed to help somebody equip out a Rep-X. Happy to do that. Ping me in the Discord. My name's Drake in the Discord. I know a couple of people. We talked about like going through building a list for somebody. Hit me in the Discord, and then playing a game. Hit me in the Discord, and we will. We'll get it all going. Stop talking smack on my lovely girls. They are just sweet little girls. So hopefully you guys are participating in the tournament. Should be super duper fun, super chill. If you missed it, we're gonna make this a regular occurrence because everybody seems to be having a fun time. It seems to be a lot of fun. So really appreciate you guys. We'll keep this up as a regular if you guys like it, and try to do this maybe every other week for y'all. I promise you, I'll never gate lock this behind, paying for anything or all that. Like my whole goal with starting this channel was I wanted more people to get out and play the hobby and enjoy it, man. So I really appreciate you guys. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you in the next one.